Hello, my name is James Sparrow, and this is Tech on the Beach. I'm joined now with Liron Azrielant, Managing Partner at Meron Capital.
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for taking the time.
Of course, I was already here.
Tell me a bit about Meron Capital and what you folks invest in, please.
Sure. Meron Capital is a fund that Daniel Roditi and I founded in late 2016. We've been investing since 2017. We're 55. Our current fund, Meron Capital 2, is a $55 million vehicle, and we invest in pre-seed and seed startups. We've invested so far in 24 companies, 22 of which are public. And in terms of industries, so we invest in cybersecurity, DevOps, enterprise software, fintech, digital health. I guess everything that's fairly complex and that you can do in software. Most recently, we've also added Gil Shai, our third partner. They will be focused on climate investment. So that is becoming a big vertical for us.
Okay, that's a big space. I know a lot of things are going there, but I do want to ask you about one company in particular, which is Mesh Payments.
Of course.
So Mesh Payments, for those who may not know, was rated number 9 on Calcalist most promising Israeli startup. So huge mazel tov on that. What attracted you to Mesh Payments, and how did that investment go?
Sure, and I think it's actually a really good story because it's a very typical investment for us at Meron Capital. I met Oded through a good friend of mine, Noam, that Oded used to be her boss. And she didn't tell me anything except Oded is the biggest expert I know on payments, and he's doing something in payments, so you should invest in him. Back then, the company actually had a slightly different idea that they were pursuing. But more than diligencing the idea, we were diligencing Oded and Eran, his co-founder that we later on learned to know and very, very greatly appreciate. So in our effort to try and diligence Mesh Payments, we kept on seeking experts on payments, and we kept getting redirected to Oded.
So it was like destiny, almost.
Yeah, it's like, if you're looking at a company in the payment space, you should really talk to Oded. He's the best expert in it. So I think our number one thesis behind it was that we trust Oded's judgment in the space, and we trust Eran's ability as a CTO. And that's what led us to back the team, much more than the investment itself.
That is what they say. They say to always look at the team and to see how they operate and their vision when you're investing, I suppose.
Yeah, very much so. And guess what? The idea changed somewhat since we've invested. 4 maybe 5 years later, and the company is doing amazingly. And what didn't change is the amazing team.
Yeah, it's looking very promising indeed. Looking ahead, what can we look for? What do you folks have your eye on? You mentioned some climatech stuff, but what are some of the things that you're looking forward currently?
Wow. So, yeah, as I mentioned, climate, it's something that from personal perspective, we've always wanted to invest, but we never felt that the industry or the macro conditions were quite there. We're feeling like the regulation is moving forward to the point where it makes financial sense to invest in climate, and the ecosystem is developing to a point where it's mature enough to generate strong climate tech founders. Other than that, I guess like everybody, we're still looking at how generative AI has shuffled the cards on everything, making a lot of companies honestly at risk of having their technology commoditized, but then giving way to a lot of new companies to form. So I wish I had a thesis on that, but all I can tell you is that I'm looking for interesting companies, interesting opportunities that were created by this.
Well, it sounds very exciting, and I can't wait to see how it all goes. Liron, thank you so much for taking the time.
For sure.